With my backdrop image placed inside of our three-dimensional scene, I'm ready to start placing some true three-dimensional objects to start flushing out the proportions of my hammerhead shark. And it's going to go pretty fast with this lovely backdrop image in here. Now, I've deleted the default cube that comes with every Blender scene, and I'm ready to jump in and start placing some simple shapes. As we've gone over before, adding objects into our scene goes pretty fast through this Add Object menu. I'm in the Object mode. Go to Add, and here we go. Let's just start with a cube. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to use our transform tools to get this object where we want to go. Now, one of the things that I like to do to make it go a little bit faster is to create a small little library of shapes that I can use to populate my scene over and over and over again. Just hit the S key real fast to scale that guy down. I'm going to go into my right view. Let's remove the perspective. So now we got an orthographic view. And I want to show you a great keyboard shortcut that will help you do this real quickly, because I just want to have some basic preset shapes that I then can use to copy and paste and just to very quickly block out and flush out the overall forms of my hammerhead sharks, which is cubes and cylinders and spheres. Of course, this Add Object pull-down menu is a great way of doing it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now I got a cylinder. I like that. Hit the S key to scale this guy down just a little bit. Wonderful. However, we also have another keyboard shortcut for us to create some simple shapes, and it's Shift A, which is basically going to pull this Add Object this menu underneath your cursor. So Shift A, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, let's do UV sphere. There we go. I can move it over here. Hit the S key to fire off the scale tool, and then we're up and running. And now I have a small little library of shapes that I can use to start placing the duplicates on top of the reference image. Now, let's do this real fast. Of course, we're more than welcomed and encouraged to go in and grab one of these, the square here. And I'm just going to use the scale tool here. I think I'm going to use this item transform tool, which is going to allow us to just work very quickly by scaling this down. Something right along in here. Yeah, hit the G key to grab it. Something like that. Just get it close. I think that's all we're looking for here. Yeah, from the front view here, just going to orbit. I'm kind of blocking out and trying to figure out the proportions of that shovel head from all three angles. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go back into my right view. 3 on the number pad to jump over into my right view. Things are looking good. Now I'm going to use this cylinder, G to grab it, move it over here to block out the body. Now this body, of course, is the central shape of our hammerhead shark, so it's going to require some effort. Okay, I'm just going to, let's go in with the item transform tool and just very quickly start to block this out. Now, if you look carefully at the reference image, you can see that it tapers towards the head. It gets real wide in the center of the fish, and then it tapers again as it goes towards the tail. So often I like to block out with just at object mode, because it's going to allow me to get to the end result pretty quickly. However, in moments like this, where we're having to deal with these big tapers, it may be useful to do some very simple component level editing at this stage. Let's go ahead and do this. So what I'm going to do, grab my cylinder, run over into the edit mode. I'm going to grab my face selection set, grab that front face, and once again return over into my right view. I'm going to grab it using the G key on my keyboard to move it into position. I also could have grabbed just the face selection tool. That works too. 6 to 1, half a dozen to another. Here's a great little trick. If it's at an angle, if you just scale it, kind of flatten it out. Nothing too fancy. You can actually flatten it to a value of 0, and then it's perfectly up and down, which is kind of nice. Yeah, let's grab that back face again. Look at my scene from the right view, excuse me. I'm actually going to do the same little trick here. Rotate it, Maybe I'll scale, hit the wrong button, excuse me. I wanted this one so I get the handle. I'm going to move it to a value of 0 along the Y, which is just going to flatten it out. There we go. Let's move it down towards the end here. And now I'm just going to hit the S key to uniformly scale. Now when you're working with these scales, look very carefully at the icon, the cursor icon. It changes. It goes from your regular selection arrow to this up and down arrow. And you get these little dotted lines in there. Follow those dotted lines. The scale tool wants to work kind of in a V shape with your cursor, right? With your mouse direction, excuse me. So it takes some small movements, and if you ever need granular control, if it's ever moving too fast for you, just hold down the Shift key, as I'm doing here. Careful not to do that, to flip it. Yeah, and if it gets really wonky, and sometimes it does it, and as I was teaching here, it got real wonky, you always just hit undo, scale it down again, hold Shift, do some fine movements, and then whenever you click, you confirm it. There we go. Let's do the exact same thing on the front. Grab that front face, look at it from the side, S to scale. I'm going to hold down the Shift key just to make it a little bit smaller. Just get it close, click. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to need some sort of edge segment inside the center here so that I can start to scale it out and create this wonderful kind of V shape on the fuselage of my body. So we're going to use some tools now to do that. Now I'm in the edit mode still, so I see all of my component editing tools down here. And specifically, I'm going for this guy right here. This is going to be our loop slice tool. I'm just going to put one in there. I like the loop slice tool. I'm going to try to do this with as few as I can. Back to box select. Now, if you're not already in the edge selection system, here it is, I'm in edge. Here's a great little trick. If you want to grab the entire edge loop, just double click on it. It'll select the entire loop, which is pretty cool. And now I'm going to hit the S key, scale it, hit the G key to grab it, move it around a little bit. Something like that. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy. That's a good start. Now when I'm blocking out some of these other shapes, I'm going to do this intelligently. I'm going to do one side of these fins, and then I'm going to mirror the other side. So I'm only going to create this side of the fish, and then I'll use my mirroring tools to duplicate all those shapes across the x-axis and get the other fins for me. Now these fins down over here, these are nothing more than squares. So let's go back into the right viewport and add in another square here. Oh, I'm in edit mode. Let's jump back into object mode. And I'm going to add another cube in here. And I'm going to show you another great trick that will help you very quickly populate your scene. Now I have a cube here, and I'm going to be using a whole bunch of cubes to make these fins. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cubes that I need to place very quickly and very accurately to get the result that I'm after. Let me show you a great little trick, and this is the simple duplication system inside of Blender. I have a copy, or I have my master cube over here, and I just want to duplicate that cube and very quickly kind of place it on the model itself. Well, the keyboard shortcut for duplicating it is Shift D. Shift D, and the moment that you click Shift D, you can drag out a copy of that object with your mouse. Boop, there it goes. And with that done here, I'm just gonna do this. See if I can just go through this as quickly as I can. Something like that. It doesn't, if you're slightly inaccurate, that's okay, because you will have time to adjust this. I just wanted to show you guys real fast this process. I'm going to go into my edge selection mode here real fast and simply just move this edge back. Hit the 3 key on my keyboard to grab that top face, bring it down some. Yeah, hit the 2 key on my keyboard to go into my edge selection engine. Move that over, something like that. Box select to grab all of them. Move it again. I'm in edges. Yeah, something like that. Just moving it fast. This top fin doesn't need to be mirrored. So that's the top fin, and then the tail here aren't going to be mirrored geometry, so we can do this pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go back into object mode. Since I got my copy here, let's grab that one. Shift D once again. We can start pulling out another shape here. Now this one's at an angle, so I want to get a little bit more control over this as I work with the shape, because I want to make sure that I'm generally kind of getting the angle that I'm after. And this is going to take some experimentation. I don't know if I'm going to get it right the first time, but that's okay. That's kind of why we're doing this, is to explore our model, to make an entire draft of our model from all the way down to the final detail, so that we can figure these little challenges out. What angle do I want the fin? What angle makes sense? Now I have a big challenge here. I need to scale this thing down. If I hit the scale tool, notice how my tool handles are oriented to the global orientation of all three axes. That's not what I want. So I'm concerned that I want to be scaling this at a weird angle. Well, we can change the selection. We can change the tool handles, the orientation of our tool handles right here. Right now we're global. If we do local, see how the tool handles change their orientation to match the selected component? I can now have great confidence that I am scaling that object precisely the way I want. I'm even going to move it along its local Z, so it doesn't change its orientation as I kind of match it real quickly to the reference. Just something like that. Let's go back into object mode. I'm also going to change my tool handle orientation back to global. Let's just take a look, see. Is that the angle that I want? No, that's not the angle that I want. Let's make a change. It's a cool thing about working in computer graphics, is we don't like it, we can make a change. We're in control here. This is my sculpture of a hammerhead shark, and I can make this however that I want. Yeah, something like that. And I'm a happy camper. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Now I'm basically going to continue this entire method for all of the shark parts as I go down my little shark, trying to block out the overall shape of my shark with just simple cylinders and squares. I'm going to use my little spheres here for the eyeballs in a second, but the overall shape of the shark is going to be blocked out first, and then we're going to use that as the foundation to mirror all of this geometry, all the fins to the other side. And from there, we'll have a really good understanding if the proportions and the angles of all of these pieces are working the way we want them to work.